Hyun.
We are live at West Beach in South Australia. It's magnificent Gunnerlands on the Adelaide Plains. Top of the table clash in live softball action tonight. Port Adelaide Magpies versus the Sturt Falcons. 9 wins and 3 losses for Port. 8-4 for the Falcons. So it will be a game for top position here tonight. James Harris here, and alongside me is Steph Trzynski and Mark Cram. Welcome, guys.
Thanks, James. I'm excited to be here.
Hello, everybody. Yes, I'm very excited. This is my first game back in a long while, and now I get to see Sturt v Port Adelaide 1v2. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, these two teams have faced off 3 times already this season. Port have the advantage over Sturt, 2 wins to 1. But both of Port's wins have come on a Saturday with a run differential of 1 run in each game, and then the other time that they faced off was on a Wednesday night. Charlotte Dubrovcek was pitching. She will be pitching tonight, and the Falcons jumped all over her in an 8-0 win. Now, Steph, we were talking at the top of the show, and you were saying that you were excited to see just how far Charlotte has come since that game.
Yeah, Charlotte's definitely started to find a bit more of a groove over the last few weeks, so I think this will be a really good market to see exactly sort of how much has developed in just a few short weeks.
And Mark, you said it's your first game in a while. We've missed you, mate. Top of the table clash. Are you surprised to see these two teams in a share for top?
I'm not surprised. The couple of games that I watched at the start of the season, the early indicators were there that these guys were going to be top of the ladder. Yo Grower, I can't see her out there at the moment. Obviously doesn't play on the Wednesdays, so that'll be a big loss for them. I always knew Sturt would be hovering around Sturt or West Torrens, and I've been proven right. I'm excited. I'm very excited. I got here early, first time ever.
Now, not to worry, we will hear from the great man himself, Lee Hull. He's going to be reporting on the other game that's on tonight over on Diamond 2, and that is between the Hills Heat and Glenelg Rebels. He was saying that the Rebels are actually leading 1-0 after the first inning. Let's quickly go around the diamonds for the Magpies. Charlotte Dubrovcek will be pitching to the red-hot Jess Maslin. Georgia Burr at first base. Zoe Thompson at second. Taylor Chillingworth at short. Charlie Callahan at third. The outfield left to right is Taylor Oates, Amelia Dolphin and Charlie Nash. Here is Dubrovcek with the first pitch to Sarah Tonkin. I said red-hot Jess Maslin. We saw her just a couple of games ago. Hit 2 home runs in 1 game. Absolutely on fire. We'll get the stats with Steph Trzynski in a moment as Tonkin gets after this one. A little high in the zone. Chillingworth comes charging at it for a great play. It's the first out of the game. Key out because Sarah Tonkin's on fire.
How good is Chillingworth at shortstop? She covers the ground. Her throw, she's a very tall girl, isn't she? Or am I just short? But she's very, very tall and gets down low and gets up and uses that height and that throw, that reach. It looks really, really clean.
Yeah, and you can see how she took a really good first step, came straight in the ball, didn't hesitate. And so she got a really good bounce.
First pitch swinging, Neve Adams with the first hit of the ball game. A single to left field. Good aggressive hitting from the young star of the competition. She would have liked their match up against Dubrovcek. They would have played against each other a few times throughout their short careers already. Here's Belinda White. No rest at all for Port Adelaide. Got their first out on the second pitch, and then bang, single to Adams on the third.
Sturt will be coming out aggressive. Definitely, we see it with the first 3 batters. You got Belle White in the box now, then Maddie Cameron up to bat. They'll be coming out aggressive to assert their dominance straight away.
High for ball 2 on White, so Dubrovcek just careful early on White after giving that hit up to Adams. She's had a couple of hits this year, Neve Adams as well, so continuing on. 7th hit of the season.
Steph, you're a very aggressive batter, as that's a pass ball, and Neve Adams makes her way out to 2. You're very aggressive in the box, but controlled aggression. I'll give you that. Your tactic here, would you come out after the young Port Adelaide team straight away, or would you just sit back and see how it goes and plays unfolds?
I would definitely come out firing right off the bat. Young team, they might be a little bit nervous, might need a bit of a slow start. They may not. They might come out firing, but I'm always going to come out and challenge them straight up the bat, not let them get the upper hand.
You can settle in, can't you, after a couple of plays in the field if you get an easy one.
Crushes that one, foul.
No more difficult out in this competition than this lady on screen as she just dispatches that one over the fence but in foul territory. Didn't look like she got all of it, but it just sailed, didn't it?
Well, Belle's out there creating her own pace, isn't she? She's creating their power because there's not much coming this way on that last pitch. So she has to create the power, and it's all about timing as she gives that one a fair ride, and that's going long. And that hit the box, and that is over.
A home run to Belinda White. 2 pitches in a row. She's dispatched the ball over the fence. It's her second home run of the season. And the Falcons will take an early 2-0 lead, courtesy of a home run from Belinda White.
What a great shot by Bell. Mark was just saying the timing on that was perfect. She didn't try and do too much. She just waited for that ball to come in, absolutely drilled it over that fence.
Now, this is the worst position on the diamond right now, is the batter that steps into the box after a home run, and I've been there many a time myself. Steph, you've created this for a lot of people, hitting dingers. What would be going through Maddie's?
I would have thought aggressiveness would have been after seeing a couple of good hits as well. It's not easy to be the next batter up after a home run, to back it up with a home run. Well,
say no more.
Aggressive, but Maddie's also doing a really good job of being patient, not trying to swing out of her shoes after seeing her teammates succeed before, but keep her head down and know what her job is, and that's just to get on base.
That's hard to do, isn't it? That's discipline. Like, I would be swinging for the stars as that one goes, and as Maddie gives that a ride, but as we have got that one, Amelia Dolphin out there and just guides that in centre field.
Well, much needed out for Port Adelaide, and a routine fly ball for Dolphin in the second out. This will bring up Millie Fidge. Now, we mentioned just before about there's the ball from the home run from Belinda White's coming into play, so play will just held up for a second. We were saying before the aggressiveness perhaps of Cameron, she could come out and keep the foot on the throat, so to speak. Well, now Fidge with 2 out. Her role's now to get onto base now, isn't it?
Absolutely. Her role is to extend this inning out as far as she can, create a little bit more pressure.
Watches that one over for a called strike, so she's seen one now. That's probably part of the job done. Now she's got to get the ball into play. Has been an excitement machine this year, Millie Fidge. The ace of the team, really shouldering the load in the pitching circle for her club, ably supported by Poppy Carmen, who I see is listed on the bench tonight. Couple of young pitchers, just teenagers. And also is Charlotte Dobrocek, one of the youngest pitchers in the competition, if not the youngest. Swinging a miss. So it is a strikeout. Maslin has to just tidy up behind the plate there for the third out. So first strikeout of the game for Dobrocek, and Port Adelaide will trail going into their first batting inning 2-0. And well, I would suggest that they won't be after both runs straight away, maybe 1 run an inning, and they'll eventually catch up. So great start from the Falcons, 2-0.
Well, I think, to be honest with you, I would say that both teams would be happy with that scoreline. The way that Sturt came out were very, very aggressive, and they've gone through the top half of their order now, and they've only got away with 2 runs. So that'll give Port a chance now to settle in, and they have got some very, very good batters in their lineup, haven't they, Steph?
They certainly do.
Well, thanks to MK Services SA, our man Lee Hull is bringing us a couple of score updates from the other diamond, Hills versus Glenelg, and after the completion of the second inning, they start half an hour before the feature game. Each Wednesday night, they are leading 1-0, the Glenelg Rebels over the Hills. Now, they played off just a couple of weeks ago, Hills versus Glenelg, and it was Glenelg 5-4 winners in that game. So they're obviously taking some confidence into that match.
Who's throwing for the Hills tonight? Do we know?
I don't have the lineups with me, but I would suggest Georgia Hood. She's pitched every other game except that one, where they used a pitching committee is a phrase that I learnt from Steph, pitching by committee. They threw about 4 pitches that night, so obviously Coach Humphreys wanted to mix it up a little bit to not to let the opposition batters settle. So here we go. This is the Falcons versus the Magpies. Top of the table clash. Amelia Dolphin to lead things off here in the bottom half of the first inning. We'll go around the diamond in just a moment. High for ball 1.
Sounded like it had a bit of pace on it too from him.
Yeah, high 90s to start with for Fidge. Ooh. And a called strike. She had a game off, Mark. I'm not sure if you saw it the week after she had a line drive from Georgia Hood belted straight back at her.
I saw it right in the thigh, right?
Yeah, it looks like she's come back pretty well. Few wins for the Falcons. They've had 4 losses on the season, but 8 wins, very impressive wins, but a run differential of 30 runs, 62 runs for and 32 against. That was quick too. Amelia Dolphin strikes out swinging on a high rise.
What a great little setup pitch that was before, that off speed, down and low, moving straight into that up and in rise. But really hard for a hitter to stay off that high pitch after that down and low off speed. So really good setup.
And great signs for the Falcons with Fidge striking out the lead-off hitter, and Dolphins in scintillating form as well, hitting over 400 for the season. This is Taylor Chillingworth.
Geez, you're right, Steph. They're going after that rise ball, aren't they? It must look so inviting. I mean, they're very tall, those 2 girls. So is that why they're chasing that? But it hasn't got much of a kick on it, but it's a gradual rise. But they're going after it.
Oh, I think you'll find it's got not a bad kick to it, Mark. If I put you there with a bat, I'd like to see what you would do.
I'd love to see what I could do, to be honest with you.
Great change of pace as well. So going to a bag of tricks early here, Fidge, with some high balls, some down and in, and that one there, a change of pace.
You're definitely going to see Millie rely on, she throws a really good drop ball as her strike, but that change of pace coupled with that up and in rise ball, it's going to be really effective for her tonight.
Back-to-back strikeouts to start the game, both swinging, and great signs for the Falcons early. I repeat of earlier messages, one of our co-commentators would say, but this is a different story. This is Cara Tilton, a welcome return to the Magpies lineup. She's had limited game time this season as she's returned from a knee surgery from last year. And a great contribution as well in just those few games with a couple of hits and a 500 average. So the Port Magpies team will be keen to have her back full time, perhaps after Christmas when she gets a bit of fitness. Back into that right leg, you might be able to see it. It's heavily bandaged. Change of pace, ground ball to shortstop Belinda White. She's got a gun arm, so she'll pump it a couple of times and fire it across her straps for the 3rd out. A 1-2-3 inning for the Falcons. Now, I know we already gave an update of the score from Diamond 2, but Glenelg Rebels life member, Softball SA Hall of Famer and life member Lindy Radigan just wanted me to update everyone that it's still 1-0 in favour of Glenelg in the top of the 3rd. It's 1-1 now. Okay, there you go, another update. Thanks to MK Services SA. Now, guys, we know that Adelaide is the city of sunsets. Have a look at that beautiful sky in the backdrop there, a bit of purple in the sky. I reckon it's going to be another magnificent day here in Adelaide. Tomorrow, you guys would have been down the beach today, surely.
Some of us have got to work, Jim.
Not getting anything from my co-commentators.
Some of us don't get to enjoy this beautiful facility every day. We only get to venture out here Wednesdays and Saturdays. Some of us.
Well, this Saturday will be a fantastic day. It is the Sturt Falcons Club Day, and they will be playing in the inaugural mental health round. They've got the support of Breakthrough. There'll be a representative from Breakthrough joining us in commentary for the start of the game on Saturday to tell us a little bit more about mental health round. So well done on Sturt on a great initiative. They'll be playing against the Glenelg Rebels. So and a double header for Spacequake Sports this Saturday as well, as we'll see West Torrens take on Port Adelaide. Tass Straps up to bat, swing and a miss on that one to go to a 1-1 count. Straps just settled in nicely, straight back into the Sturt lineup after a couple of years away. Been contributing real well for the Falcons over the past few weeks. Seen her batting average rise up a fair bit as well. And a lot of her hits have been extra bases as well. Not quite as many as Steph Trzynski. I think she's got 80% of her hits are extra base, but let's not let her get too far ahead of herself, Mark.
Couldn't have that at all.
How do you get an extra base?
Swing
What does that
hard,
mean?
you swing hard.
I normally just get 4 off one swing, so I don't know what the extra is.
Laughing at your own jokes, Mark.
Classic.
This Port Adelaide lineup isn't too down on themselves either. There's still plenty of chitter chatter from the defence. So by all means, I don't think they're out of it just yet. But it's been all Falcons so far. And there you go to Brodcheck. Bounces straight back with a strikeout. So back-to-back strikeouts for her.
So you see Charlotte got ahead 0-2 straight off the bat, and the next, I think, 3 or 4 pitches were all rise balls. So for Charlotte, that rise ball, that up ball pitch is definitely going to be her go-to strikeout pitch.
And you go back to Silver now in the box for the Falcons.
Good pitch.
Yeah, and a called strike down and in on the lefty, who's on the move in the left-handed batter's box, breaking that resting inertia to have some momentum and get to that first base as quickly as possible.
Without giving, as that one just bunted down off to the plate, and foul ball called. Pick that one up outside and a foot come out of the box. Steph, don't give anything away that you don't want to, but with a left-hand running batter and you're pitching to them, do you just pitch like a normal left-hander, or do you try and change it up a little bit to try and get them off guard because you know they're going to take a couple of steps forward?
What a great pitch there by Charlotte to get another strikeout. It really depends on the batter, it depends on the count, depends on a lot of things, but quite often if I notice the left-handed batter might be more interested in running to first base, they'll have a bit of trouble hitting that outside corner as they start to peel off towards one. If they're trying to put down a bunt, though, more than likely throw an up ball to get them to pop it up.
Up and in? Give him a little bit
Up and in.
Give him a little bit of
Steph,
warning.
I'm so glad you said that it depends on the situation, because as a catcher, I'm thinking the exact same thing. There's no plan that you take into the game that won't be just changed immediately with the runners on base, or how many out, or how the batter's been batting so far in the game. So it's you might go in with a small game plan.
I mean, it also depends on the pitcher and what pitches they're throwing that day and what's working well for them. It's something that we've been working a little bit with the under-16 girls coming through the state team, is just being aware that there's never really a right or wrong answer as long as you've got a reason for why you've done something and why you've called something.
Well, this is Rachel Tonkin. How's the expert comments, Mark?
Unbelievable.
The best in the business, just adding value to the commentary team. Steph Trzynski joining us here tonight. We'll hear from Lee Hull in a moment. But in the meantime, the Brodcheck just going about her work. Ashby, ground ball to shortstop. Good play from
off the boat.
Chillingworth, and that is umpire Borovnik on first base, just calling the first base player Georgia Burt off the base as she received the ball. So Ashby aboard. Let's have a look at the leading team's replay. This one will be a good one to watch as we see Chillingworth come in to make the play. It's a little high, and
I think you got the right call.
Yeah.
If you listen to the
right
replay
the
there, I
point.
called off at the same time he did. So I was, oh no, he called her off.
leaving the base early. So with 2 out, Falcons looking to stay aggressive, put the steal on young Ashby, but she's left the base early. So 2 real big plays in a row, and you cannot question the call of the umpire. Right on it, got it right both times as well. So, well, the action has been great from all three teams on Diamond tonight. Yeah, clearly off the base, maybe even 2 steps off the base before Dubrovcek released the ball. So 2 strikeouts.
I'm just trying to
for Ashby and
get a hold of the statistician's book here so I can know what to write on my book. How do you write leave early? What is the terminology for leave early, ladies? Huh?
LB.
LB.
Oh, I wrote LBE. I was close.
That's okay as well. That's all right as well. So, hey, we didn't get a chance to go around the Diamond and say the Falcons lineup.
Yeah, so you'll see Millie in the circle pitching to Sarah, Tash Draps at 1, Rachel Tonkin at 2, Neve Adams is at 3, Belinda White at shortstop, Maddie Ashby in left, Maddie Cameron in centre field, and Indigo Beck de Silva in right field. And on the bench, still have Lauren Drury and Poppy Carmen. Poppy Carmen, a handy relief pitcher, who at the moment has been pitching really well in the A grade with one of the lower ERAs in the competition.
Lower than yours, Steph, or?
I would think it might be. It very well could be.
Here's Jess Maslin, a 4-hitter for the Magpies. She gets after the first one. It's high in the air and it's spilt in foul territory. So a life for Maslin, and a batter of that calibre, well, a fellow Cath Coral medalist, Steph. She could make you pay.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to give too many lives to a hitter like Jess, because she will take advantage of that.
Now, they had a massive win on the weekend, 14-1. And Jess had 10 RBIs before that game. So one of the league leaders in RBIs. No one on at the moment. Aggressively gets after that one. And again, into foul territory. She's nice and early on Fidge.
She went up with that one too and hit it very flat. Didn't go under it. The first one, you notice she dropped the shoulder and went right under it. And just went up with that one and hit it flat. Very confident in the box.
Yeah, we've seen an aggressive Magpies lineup. I mentioned the 14-1 win they had on the weekend. Oh, swing and a miss from Maslin, and great calling from Tonkin, but a great spot from Fidge. High, quick, rise ball, and that's her 3rd strikeout of the game.
Must have had a bit of kick on it.
I told you.
101, they tell me, the speed on that one. So Fidge into triple figures. Callahan leaves that one high. Callahan really settling in as an A-grade player in the competition. Was the Rookie of the Year a couple seasons ago. This year she's hitting .355 for the team. So just a great contribution to her club.
You'll see she's got an interesting sort of hitting stance tonight. Her front foot starts almost on the line closed, and then she opens up as the pitch comes.
Good hard aggressive swing again from Callahan. I think the Port Adelaide players swinging at this high pitch is okay if they're making connection, which just means that they've got to maybe anticipate the high pitch and keep swinging hard, but keep your eye on the ball as well. It looks like they're just taking their eye off to right at the end of the swing there as well. So they're just disadvantaging themselves just a little bit by doing that swing at that high pitch. Change up.
Well, you'll notice a lot of those rise balls, while they're great pitches, they're all sitting a little bit high too. So I think for Port Adelaide, they need to pick a low pitch and go for that and try and stay off that high pitch. And I understand that's a lot easier said than done. But that high pitch, while it's obviously moving and is a great pitch, as these hitters just need to be on top and look for that low pitch or that change up. Great fight by Charlize.
Yeah, that one was just got inside on her a little bit. I wouldn't say that she was jammed up, but almost at the bottom of the barrel, but fouling it off to stay alive. Staying alive over the last couple of pitches, couple of foul balls in the count, but still behind 1 ball, 2 strikes. Another change of pace from Fidge, so pair of strikeouts in each inning so far for Fidge, but 4 strikeouts from 5 batters.
Not a bad start at all, is it? That change-up and that rise ball combo, I said, I'm pretty sure from the very first batter is going to be a really good combo for her.
Well, here's Georgia Burt, first base player for the Magpies.
Well, you said it before, Steph. They got to lay off the high stuff. They got to be a little bit more disciplined and try and, if it's high, it'll kick higher. If it's low, then wait for it and be patient. They're just chasing everything, like elbow, chest height. They're just chasing it. They just need to be patient.
Yeah, and like, look, it can be really tricky to stay off that rise ball. Another approach could be that they're swinging at everything low and they're just looking for a low pitch, and that's the only pitch I'm swinging at. Whether or not it is that strike or if it is at that belt height or not, they're potentially going to have more luck making contact with that low pitch.
Yeah, they should be looking for the low and not, swinging at the low and looking at the high, I reckon. Just play your percentages. There you go. There, it's low.
That's that pitch there, yeah. I mean, great at bat by Georgia Burr to be patient and take that walk, though.
Yeah,
I think that's what they need.
from Burr, but the analysis, guys, from you two's top shelf. Right on it, Mark. Cut the zone in half, swing at the low balls and stay off the high pitches. Here is Charlie Nash. Can she
It's funny,
lay off the high
just
pitch?
listening to Steph and getting her interpretation of it. Like, I probably stopped playing when she started playing. That's the age difference here, right? But, like I was saying to Lee a while ago, the techniques of the game in the original format is still there, right? But it's just different. It's played differently now these days. Like, we would have, travelling around Australia playing nationals, we would have got drilled chasing 2 or 3 or 4 high ones, 3 batters. It would have been drilled into us not to. Whereas you guys sort of, you play around that a little bit more, and you're happy to chase the high ones, and you play with the high ones, and then you look for that low one, and it's quite different. Maybe I'm just old, grumpy.
No,
Maybe the rise
right
balls
on
have
it,
gotten
mate.
better over time, Mark.
Well, I don't know. 128 Ks, Chris Kiefel. This
With a white ball.
with a white ball, 128 Ks, it sort of goes up pretty high, pretty fast.
It was a pitcher's game back then, wasn't it, Mark?
It was scary. I copped a couple from Roll Mullins in the ribs. Don't worry about that. But anyway, that's a different story.
Was it 46 feet then?
46 feet.
Was it 46? No, was it? Because the pitching plates changed over
Pitching
time.
plate did go back, didn't
Yeah.
it? Might have been closer, Mark. Anyway, let's get back to the action here. Charlie Nash has gone to a full count here. Georgia Burr has remained on first the entire at bat. Looked like the outside edge for Nash.
Wowee.
And the 3rd strikeout of the inning. So Fidge will strike out the side. 5 strikeouts from 7 batters, and the runner Georgia Burr left stranded on first base. So all the Falcons so far, as we will end the 2nd inning 2-0. MK Services SA score check from Diamond 2, thanks to Lee Hull as well, top of the 4th, 1 run apiece. So tight clash over on the backfield. Glenelg had a interstate pitcher on the weekend. Probably one should rather forget, a 14-1 loss. Jade Peterson back on the mound for the Rebels tonight. One of the league leaders in strikeouts. And, she probably won't like me saying one of the eldest as well, but that just means she's crafty. You're supposed to help me out, guys.
No, I'm not getting involved in that conversation at all.
She's still got it. Jade Peterson sitting at the top of the competition strikeout count, high for ball 1. Charlotte Brodczyk, the youngest in the competition, going up against Rachel Tonkin here. What do you make of the move of Rachel Tonkin from 2 to 9? I know we've spoken about it a few times now.
I like Rachel in that 9 hole. She can get really crafty and get on base, and that really sets up the top of the lineup to come through and do some damage.
I always say, don't I, 7, 8, 9, Jim, every time I commentate, 7, 8, 9 is dangerous, because if you can get one of those 3 on, then you're back to the top. But if you mix it up down the bottom here and you get some good players on and some quick players, then they're going to get battered around.
Well, Brodczyk getting behind in the count, 3-0, so she needs to fire a couple past Tonkin here, get right back into the count, because you're right, Mark, On deck is Sarah Tonkin, and doesn't get any easier after that with Adams, White and Cameron. So a 4-ball walk. She'll be disappointed with that. Dobrozcek, and here is Sarah Tonkin up to bat for the Falcons. Her first turn ground ball over to shortstop.
She's got so much power in her bat too. Ooh, good backing up.
Already through the lineup once, the Falcons. Here is Tonkin with sister Rachel ahead of her on base. Bunt. Dobrozcek will do the fielding and gets it across to Thompson for the first out. Sacrifice bunt. Well executed from Sarah Tonkin.
Probably not my choice of play there, given the fact that she can hit the ball hard and they can both run. None down. But, again, I'm not a coach. Probably old.
Steve Adams up to bat. Aggressively goes after that one. Well, the runner's now in scoring position, Mark. And after a 2-run lead, could extend it here after some smart play, good tactics from Justina Adams and the Sturt Falcons.
Well,
Yeah.
I think Sarah bunting there just goes to show how much faith Justina has in the next few spots of her lineup to hit Rachel in.
Very early on that inside pitch, Adams. She's got 2 in a row. And this is the position that she was in earlier, Steph, where she was able to then throw around the batter for a few pitches. Up and out for ball 1. Adams stays off of that one. And to White in the on-deck circle. She'll be red hot and ready to go after a 2-run shot in her first at-bat. Our ball into her own leg. You don't like doing those ones, do you, Mark?
Nah, no. I've done them once or twice.
Sack bunt by Sarah also takes away that double play option on a ground ball now that there's no force as well, so could be that tactical move.
Or a good hit by her. Could have had a runner at second and third with 2 in scoring position. So it's a game of roll the dice, isn't it? You never know what you're going to get. She could have hit it really hard, had a stand-up double, second and third. No fourth.
As easy as that, Mark.
Well, Steph hits bloody doubles all the time.
She's really getting out early on the Dobrozcek, so as the coaches would say, let it travel.
It's about that timing we were talking about before when Bell hit it, didn't after her first swing. Next one was just contact timing and it went. And there's the difference, you know, you've got a lot of years of experience there and then experience coming.
High for Dobrozcek. Gets under it to take a good catch. The runner's on second. She takes a couple of steps off. So 2 out now with White up to bat. And you wouldn't want another batter in the box with a runner in scoring position. You'd be tempted to pass her up after hitting a home run, and 2 pitches in a row went over the fence.
That's a tricky one, though, because you pass her up and you've got Maddie Cameron up to bat who could do the same thing. Whereas Bell could drive in a run now.
White herself into double-digit figures for RBIs on the season.
Good to see Charlotte take control and take that fly ball just then. It's a tricky one because often you might see a third base come and take that. But with a runner on 2, Charlize was camped back on her base in case the runner took off on the catch. So it was really good to see Charlotte take control and take that ball.
Expert commentary, thanks to Steph Trzynski and Dobrozcek. Got it right. The pitch before that one on Belinda White, it was right at the bottom of the strike zone, perhaps a little on the outside edge as well. They're the hardest pitch in softball to hit. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Good to see the young pitcher going after White. Change up. Great pitch for a called strike. 2-2 count now. White obviously not looking for that one, so she'll take that. Knowing the calibre of the hitter that she is, she'll back herself here at a 2-2 count. Oh, for a ball now. Tonkin can take off here, no one covering home, but she just eases up, and is comfortable at third because she knows she doesn't have to risk it with Belinda White on deck. Now, full count, we don't have Lee Hull here. Mark, what's your prediction?
I think it'll be ball 4, to be honest with you, and then Maddie Cameron will come up and hit a fly to 9.
Just this pitch will be fine.
Okay. Foul ball.
All right, Steph, didn't go too well for Mark then. What's your prediction for this pitch?
Deep fly of the outfield, that'll score the run.
Was 2 out.
Oh, maybe not then.
Great pitch. That was very close. Jess Maslin held the glove there a little longer to show plate umpire Lawrence.
I thought he had his arm up. I thought he was about to ring her up then. I was going to say that is a scalp at a time. But it just goes to show exactly what I said, based on balls, and then Maddie will hit one out to centre. But anyway.
Tell me, Steph, you looked excited on that pitch.
Yeah, look, it was close. Bell did really well to stay off it.
1-3 split. We'll see Belinda White go to second unopposed, but Maslin fires it down the line to third base just to keep Tonkin honest on third, but 2 runners in scoring position for Maddie Cameron on an 0-1 count. Outside, so great pitch and location for Dobrozchek. This one goes foul.
I'm all nervous now because I want to be right.
Charlotte 0-2 here has had quite a few instances already this game where she's gotten ahead really quick.
Oh. Umpire takes that one. Neville takes that one right in the chest guard. Didn't even flinch.
Yeah, I thought it popped up a little bit,
Really?
maybe even on the chin, on the underside of the mask. But he'll be all right. Oh, he looked at the hand just then, so Big Nev, not much phases him. Cameron looking like she's just fighting to stay alive in the box the last couple of pitches.
I think that's a very good analysis there, because she doesn't look as comfortable as she normally does, and has that. Excuse me. She has that sort of aura of, dominance when she comes to the box, but at the moment she's a little bit mixed and covering the run and sort of not really settled. Is she taking a bigger step than she normally does, Steph? I don't know.
No, Maddie always takes a mighty big hat.
Great piece of the ball into the alley. That'll score 2 runs. She'll get extra bases, and Cameron a 2-run double.
Exactly what I said was going to happen, and Cameron puts one out to centre field there and scores 2. So that's makes it 4-0 Sturt's way.
There's been two RBI shots in the game so far. Home run to Belinda White, and then that double from Maddie Cameron. So Magpies a little bit of work to do now to catch up. They've got to score 4 to tie it, but they really need to make the third out here in the top of the third inning as the Falcons continue to threaten. 4-0 game, just like that. Great conditions for softball as well, as no breeze to speak of.
Beautiful night for it. Temperatures dropping off, which is perfect. Oh, that
Crushes this one. Line drive in the exact same position as Cameron. Stand-up double for Fidge as she walks into second, and an RBI shot from Fidge to go along with the 2 runs that Cameron brought in on the previous at-bat. Ben Lucas, head coach of Port Adelaide, will call timeout to speak to his players. And how's the shot from Fidge?
That was a good hit. A lot of power out of that.
Well, Port Adelaide sit atop of the ladder with 3 losses from their 12 games. The only other team with 3 losses is West Torrens, Steph, but you've only played the 10 games. So a couple of games in hand, you're a couple of games behind top place. So this is good for West Torrens, but also good for Sturt, because their 4 losses this year and a lower runs against will catapult them from second to top spot, overtaking Port Adelaide, who have held that position for majority of the season. So what's that message that Coach Lucas is saying to the Magpies right now?
The season was always going to be really tight. The ladder's going to be tight. I think it's really important right now for the Magpies team just to keep their heads in the game and limit runs against as well as they can.
We might touch on the ladder in their inning break. There's 2 out here. This is Tastraps up to bat. Goes first pitch. It's a fly ball out to right field. It just off the end of the glove of Nash. He throws it into second, allowing Fidge to score on the play. And that lead extends to 6. Straight into the next hitter here, Indigo Bector Silva with Straps on first base.
I think at this point in the game, it's important for Port Adelaide to realise, oh, here we go on the replay. We can see Charlie did an awesome job of getting there. She just lost it at the last second. Read the ball really well, just must have lost it, took her head off at the very last minute. It's important to remember that Port Adelaide have they have the most runs on the season. They're a very, very strong hitting team.
Ground ball to Brozcek, and although it looked like it rolled out of the glove and up to her wrist, she recovered in time to throw it across for the 3rd out. So 4 runs on the inning for the Falcons, the top of the order doing the damage. And it is a 6-run lead in the middle of the 3rd. Now, Steph, you've got a update around the grounds thanks to MK Services SA.
Yeah, so in the top 5, we have Hills leading 2-1. So again, a really tight game. They'll be close to wrapping it up. Peterson at the moment with 6 K2s, Hood with 5 K2s. Glenelg have 2 hits and Hills have 3 hits. So numbers pretty comparable all the way around. Pretty tight, close game.
Yeah, it's 3-1. I think I just overheard. Yeah, so 3-1 to the Hills Heat. So Glenelg Rebels have been fighting back. And over the Rebels have been showing some fight over the last few games, having a couple of close ones, including a close one against the Falcons last game. I muddled my words just then because the great man, Mr. Spacequake Sports himself, David Muggleton, just said that there was some comments on the social media that the rumour was that Steph's playing for the Magpies next year. Well, we can put that rumour to bed straight away. Steph?
That's right, she's playing for Sturt.
No one saw that coming, did they?
All right, here
Oh, was I not supposed to say anything?
No, I think that would be Mr. Chili generating and spreading that rumour on his own merit.
Trying to work out what the $100 bills falling out of your pockets were as you were walking in.
Taylor Oates is the 8 hitter for the Magpies, fouling that one off. We are up to the 8 hitter for the Falcons lineup next time we get to their batting innings at the top of the 4th, but it's their 2nd time round. This is still only the 1st time round for the Magpies, so it's really only one big inning away and they're right back in it, but they've only had the 1 base runner so far, so big job here for Oates. She goes after that change-up.
They're terrible, aren't they?
Change-ups?
Oh.
That was a great pitch by Millie right on the outside corner of the plate.
Foul ball from Oates to stay alive. She's got a big smile on her face. Sarah Tonkin calling a great game tonight. Fetches the ball from the back of the net and right back to work.
Catchers love catchers, don't they?
What was that one that didn't quite look like the change-ups that have been beating the batters? It sort of looked like the back of the hand, but got away from her a bit, Steph.
It could be her drop ball. She throws a nice little rollover off-speed drop.
And then she goes back to the high pitch for strikeout number 6, Steph.
Well, you can see Millie's working sort of all parts of the zone. She's got a low pitch, a change of pace, and a high pitch. So as a hitter, you don't really know what's coming. You're not just zoning in on one speed. You're not just zoning on one part of the plate, but she's covering high and low. She's covering hard and slow. So keeps the hitters guessing for sure.
Zoe Thompson, the 9 hitter for Magpies. That one's high for a ball. She's done well to leave that one, which the top 8 batters in the Port lineup have failed to do.
Georgia Burr had 4 straight balls, I think, though. Zoe Thompson's another young up-and-coming player. Can do it all. She can pitch, she can play in the field, she can hit right-handed. She's actually quite a good left-handed hitter as well.
Is she in the under 16 age group?
Bottom age 16s.
Bottom age 16, so would play in the under 16 with Charlotte, no doubt. And Charlie Nash.
There's quite a few 16s out there tonight.
Well, the 9-hitter showing the top order how it's done there.
Patience.
4-ball walk.
Great discipline there by Zoe, and she's a quick runner as well, so great opportunity now for Port Adelaide to get something going.
Sturt aren't happy with that. They get a runner on base and they call the timeout and a bit of a chat about it straight away.
Well, Amelia Dolphin will get a opportunity at redemption. She struck out her first turn up to bat, so looks like everyone wants that chat at the moment. Even first base coach Kara Tilton, playing assistant coach, wants to have a chat with the dugout.
A swap, because she's on deck. She's in the hole.
Right, yes, she is up to bat in a moment. Right, runner on one here with one out, top of the order. After the first one, Tonkin doesn't like the lead-off that Thompson got. Fires it across to straps, and Thompson safely back.
Thompson's got to go back low and hard instead of sort of stumbling back there. That'll come with experience because she almost stumbled off. Come back low and hard, they know you're coming back.
Dolphin not having much success with the high pitch, but she's still going hard. Runner on one. You said Thompson's quick. Should we see a steal? Tries to cut her in half.
Set her up there, didn't she? Two high balls, and then just threw one low and in, like inside. See what happens here.
I get a feeling it was supposed to be high, Mark.
What, that one? What, you were going to throw 3 high ones in a row?
If she swung at them, I absolutely would.
Oh, well, I know what to do then. If you ever throw at me. Rise ball, okay.
It'd be good for you if it was a hot day, Mark. You'd be back to the dugout quicker.
Classic.
Lays off that one. Well, she's got herself back into the count here to a full count now. So good calling from Tonkin, trying to get her nibbling on a couple of the edges or corners, and then comes back to the high one that she swung at a couple of times. So full count.
I think quite often you see pitchers get ahead 0-2 and then get so fixated on throwing balls. Ooh.
Great piece of the ball. It's deep out to the right side alley. It's extra bases. Thompson is quick. They're in a bit of trouble here. Great Dolphin
block.
Didn't stop running. She hustles back to second, so it'll be a double. Great hustle from Cameron out there at centre field. Thompson held up because it was a fly ball. Got on her bike, got to third, and Dolphin was right on her tail. Let's see if we can get a look at the MC Sportswear replay. Great shot from Dolphin.
Let's give some credit to Sarah Tonkin here. You watch the way she blocks this ball, because if that goes past her from this throw from White, watch this, bang. If that was, Fidge's there to, I suppose, to back it up, but that could have went any which way and could have scored a run then, so that was fantastic defence.
The experience there in Sarah to block that ball, recognise there was a play at 2, but throwing behind the runner in that sort of situation
Don't throw it.
was probably a risky situation, and knowing that they're up by 6 runs at the moment, they're just trying to limit the damage.
Well, a little bit of a spark for the Magpies as Chillingworth now in the box goes to 0-2. And a correction as well from the play. It was Beck de Silva that run it down. There's Dolphin on the tail of Thompson. Probably saw Coach Lucas winding Thompson around, but then held her up at the last moment. So back to the action. Chillingworth goes hard at that one for strike 1. 2-1 count. Great defense from the Falcons. They really got that relay right, because any other team may have allowed a run on that play.
That was the one to hit, I think.
2-2 count, so Fidge gets herself right back into it here after giving up a long shot to Dolphin. Change of pace, a strike swinging, but she will get to first safely as the ball gets through the legs of Tonkin. She'll be frustrated with herself on that one, no doubt. She's got high standards of herself, as majority of these players would. And another timeout, guys. This one called from the Sturt head coach, Justina Adams. Look, I don't think it's panic stations, but the amount of timeouts that they've had, they really like talking things over, don't they?
I think they're just having a bit of a chat and just talk about the plays there and just settle down. They've got this 6 up, you know, let's just look for an out.
Well, I think in this particular dynamic, you've got some very experienced veterans like your Belinda Whites and your Sarah Tonkins on the team, but also some youth coming through. So just making sure everyone's on the same page and everyone's settled as regularly as you can.
That's what I was trying to say, but a little bit better. Steph just explained it a little bit better than what I
articulated from Trzynski.
She went to St. Peter's. I went to a tech school, you see. So, but you understood what I meant, though, Jim, right?
I understood what you both said.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Catering to a wide demographic.
Yeah, well, good
Hello to those in Burnside.
Good batter to have in the box for the Magpies in Cara Tilton. She had a ground out in the first inning with 1 out. Same place, probably going to score a run here with Belinda White just playing behind the line still, so backing her arm.
I think they'd probably be more likely going for double play. They'd be going 2 and 1, knowing that especially that Cara has had a bit of a knee problem. With the speed of Zoe Thompson at third base as well, they'll be playing in percentages.
Big cut from Tilton, just a little off it, but not by much. Jess Maslin awaits in the on-deck circle.
And that's a dangerous next at bat as well when you only got 2 out and loaded bases if they don't roll this double.
That's a great block from Tonkin. The skills on display this inning from the champ. She's really a ball of energy, isn't she?
I just want Cara to be patient here. Just be patient and just select it.
Great battle and great pitching from Millie Fidge. Strikeout number 8 on the night.
Again, that combination of that low pitch, that bounce straight up into that up and in pitch, is really effective for Millie. So Port Adelaide lineup should be identifying that and almost keeping an eye on that high and that low pitch, looking for that low pitch to hit.
Or tuning into Spacequake Sports and listening.
Maslin lays off that one. Now we've lost the radar for the evening, but it looks like she's got quicker as the night goes.
I mean, Millie's an athlete and she's always going to be an athlete, so she's definitely someone that's just going to keep improving as the game goes on.
0-2 for Maslin.
That change-up missing a little bit high is that pitch that she really does need to keep lower in the zone just to set up her rise ball. It doesn't necessarily need to be a strikeout pitch, but if she can keep it low, that's going to make her rise ball look that much better.
Outside for a ball, so it's a 3-0 count. Are you giving the likes of Maslin a green light on a 3-0 count with loaded bases chasing 6?
110% I am.
I know Lee likes to swing 3-0.
Yeah. Because there it was, right? So here's a scenario. If you swing and you hit a grand slam, there's 4 runs. If you get a single, you get a run or maybe 2 runs. If you get a base on balls, you get 1 run, and then you got a fresh batter in. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Just teasing the edges, isn't she? We're low and in the first strike, then up and out the second one.
It's a good battle.
Millie's done an awesome job to come back here, especially 100%. With a strong hitter like Jess.
It's a tough spot to come back at when you've got loaded bases and you're 3-0, isn't it? But I've seen a lot of pitches in my time. Oh, Bell White takes
shot, line drive to Belinda White. Maslin thinks I couldn't have picked out a worse batter to hit it to, or fielder to hit it to, and
she just gave her a little bit of a clap then, Maslin, just a little bit of a clap. Said, well.
Well, the Falcons deny the Magpies, but they threatened their 9-hitter, Zoe Thompson, got a walk Amelia Dolphin battled through a long at-bat with a double, nearly scored a run. Chillingworth got aboard from a drop third strike and then strikeout from Fidge and then a line drive. There she is right there on the leading team's replay. Belinda White should be happy with that one that went straight to her because a metre either side and you'd think it was through.
Well, Lee and I are always of the opinion that in a situation like that, you're going to get one of your best strikes, I feel, at 3-0 because you've got to come back. You've got to 90% of the batters are just going to sit there and watch it, aren't they? In my opinion. And Steph, is that your opinion? 50-50?
I mean, maybe. But Millie was, in that instance, obviously struggling to find that strike zone. That strike that she did come back with was a low and in. It could have easily been a ground ball that she hit to third and see you later. Again, it depends on the hitter. It depends on the situation. It depends on a lot of things.
Yeah, terrific defence from the Falcons, just showing the Magpies and the competition why they're one of the red-hot favourites. Just 32 runs against. I mentioned the 30-run score differential for runs forward against. Port Adelaide, as you mentioned, Steph, 80 runs for the season, and the highest scoring team in the comp, and 44 runs against. So this 6 runs actually puts them up to 50 runs against. And then you've got West Torrens in third place. Like we said earlier, played 2 less games. This will be 3 less games in the top 2 sides, 14 points, and just a couple of games away from top spot on 29 runs against. So 3 very competitive sides. As we come back to the top of the 4th inning, and we're at the number 8 hitter in the Falcons lineup, Maddie Ashby. And the game on Diamond 2 would be coming to a close now. We're reaching the 90-minute mark, which means that there's just a little over 30 minutes remaining on this game.
Maddie Ashby hit that ball to shortstop in the 2nd inning that Georgia Burgess came up off the base on. So she'll be looking to get herself on base again here.
Swing and a miss. And strikeout for the first out here. Top of the 4th. Rachel Tonkin comes to the box. 8 batters they had last inning, the Falcons. And it was this lady right here that got things started with a walk.
This is a key out here for Charlotte and Magpies. They can get 2 out. If they can get Rachel out, then they'll turn the top of the lineup up with already 2 out. If Rachel gets on, then they're going to have to work pretty hard to get through the next few hitters.
She starts with that bat out. And then she came back in and it didn't even look like she was interested in swinging at that pitch. So Tonkin absolutely waiting until she's got a strike called on her before she thinks about going here. So really taking it to the young pitcher now, the Falcons, making her work. Playing it on their terms, at their pace, as they called a couple of timeouts during that last inning when they had the threat from the Magpies with loaded bases, and really know how to play a game of softball, don't they? Very well structured. As close as to a professional outfielder as you get in this Premier League competition. Tonkin, ground ball over to second. And Thompson went the overhand throw, and sometimes that can be a little wild from second base at close range. So you see a lot of veteran second bases go the underhand toss. And Georgia Burr had to quickly turn the glove and then pick it up on recovery, but in time for the second out.
See, the difference is now we're starting at the top of the lineup. Already with 2 out, Charlotte would be a lot more relaxed.
Look at that background shot. We see our man David Muggleton suited up, ready to do the post-game interview. He'll speak to our player of the game. So Steph and Mark will get you to think about who that might be. It is still 30 minutes to go, so it could be anyone at this stage, but at the moment you'd think it's a Falcons player. Sarah Tonkin is one of those. There's our man on screen.
Could be our statistician, Jill Williams. Loves getting on TV.
Our magnificent scoring team. Tonight we've got Lindy Radigan and Jill Williams, both life members of Softball SA. Bring us all the stats that you hear every week.
Correct me every week. You know.
That's why we sit them next to you, Mark, so you've got all the information at your fingertips.
Oh.
Shot from Tonkin. She'd worked her way into a 3-1 count and unloaded on that one, but it's gone foul. A lot of the Falcons hitters real early on the ball and aggressive on the inside pitches, but they always seem to go foul a fair bit. So is that a tactic for Dobrocek, do you think, or even Maslin calling from behind the plate? Let's keep it inside. We're not getting too much damage there. Just foul balls.
Yeah, it could be a sign that she's hitting that inside part. Sarah is notorious for a lot of left side hits. I have seen her hit really well right side as well, but typically I'm going to see a lot of left side from her, so it's not uncommon.
I think they're just trying to generate the power and getting around too quick.
Good pitch from Dobrocek, just with a full count. Tonkin swinging the bat. She's swung at a low one there. So a mini win, you think, in the battle here? Can she catch an outside edge or?
I'll throw a change here.
She got white on the change, didn't she?
Dirty change.
High for a ball, and Tonkin will be aboard. She'll be replaced with a courtesy runner with 2 out. So good battle. But the experienced Tonkin wins out. Her sister Rachel will replace her as the courtesy runner. Neve Adams back up to bat. Here's another one of these aggressive hitters that fouls a lot left side, Steph. But with a runner on 1.
She also had a hit to left field in the first inning.
Yeah, with a runner on 1, does that mean that you're not going to throw it inside as much? Just in case they take off, so you can get a pick off here, or they've gone outside?
I mean, look, I'm personally a fan of throwing the pitcher's best stuff. So whatever is Charlotte's go-to pitch for the night, I would trust that her best pitch is going to get the job done. Nice outside pitch there, Mark.
That was a good pitch. I like that. I just like the comment you just made there. You shouldn't need to be able to set your catcher up to try and pick somebody off, right? If the catcher's good enough, it'll go. So let your pitcher do the work on the mound. Throw your best pitches, and then the catcher can work and try and get that runner. So I agree with what you said. Probably the first time tonight. I'm coming around, Steph. Coming around.
Next week, next Wednesday night, West Torrens versus Glenelg. Coming to you live on Spacequake Sports. Crushes the ball here, Neve Adams. Deep centre field. Golphin's back and comfortably takes the catch and the 3rd out. So Magpies might have a little bit of momentum here after loaded bases last inning, and then a pretty good inning here in the top of the 4th, but it is the Falcons in command of this game. 6-0 lead.
It hasn't been a bad performance by Port to this point, and it hasn't been a great performance by Sturt to this point. So it's an unusual game for me, Steph. We were asked to try and pick a player that we think stands out. Collectively as a team, they're sort of both going okay for me at the moment. I don't mind.
I mean, Millie
Fidge.
Yeah, she's
I
at
was just
1,
about to
2,
say.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, Millie Fidge is doing a fantastic job to hold the Magpies down. We know that they can score runs.
With a double and 2 RBIs to a name.
Yeah.
Oh, 1 RBI.
It's funny how the pitcher picks the pitcher, right?
Yeah, of course, of course. Here's a stat for you guys. In all results so far this season, any team that scored 6 or more have not lost in the season so far.
Right.
So going to be tough for the Magpies to come back. Highest losing score of the season was 6, but Walkerville scored 10 in that game against West Torrens. 10 runs to 6 early on in the season. Actually, round 2. We are in round 9. Round 9 starts tonight with this game. Hills versus Glenelg. We'll hear from Lee Hull in a moment on how that game ended. And then it will continue this Saturday. Mental health round, Glenelg versus Sturt. Inaugural mental health round, and Sturt's club game, and West Torrens versus Port Adelaide. So we're going to miss on a change-up, which means the third game and the final game of round 9 will be Hills versus Glenelg. No, it'll be Sturt. Sturt are playing Glenelg, so it'll be Hills playing Walkerville. There you go. Got it out eventually, Mark. Thanks for the support there.
Mate, you know how much trouble I have reading the notes and putting it all together. I just say things right or wrong.
Change up, but she gets bat on ball. White charges. She loses it out of the glove, throws it to the fence. Out is called, so it just stalled on the play because Callahan saw that the ball had flown over the head of Strap. She had no chance of stopping that. And she turned into the diamond, came back to the base. The ball was already there and she was tagged out before touching the base, and the out was called. So,
yeah, so in that instance, as a runner, as you turn and look where that ball goes, you should turn with your head right rather than turn and then look.
Here's the leading team's replay. Let's have a look. The backups from Tonkin. Underhands it back, and
she saw it.
Yeah,
she
so
saw
she
it, but
did-
she turned the wrong way. She should have turned towards the fence.
She did a good job of reading the ball. She just sort of made hesitated.
Well,
Yeah.
she turned, and that's what like if she would have turned this way and came back,
It
but she
looked like,
turned.
yeah,
across
it
the
looked
field.
like she took a step to run to second and then changed her mind.
Yeah. That was a bit of a
Good heads-up defence by Sturt.
yeah. I was going to say it's the wild throw there from Bell White, which you don't normally see, so that's a little bit out of character.
Yeah, you can see as she picked it up, she lost it a little bit in the transition.
I thought it was a bit of the old baseball flair. You know, you used to pick it up and punch the glove, look at the, and plenty of time to throw it.
Bell's not that kind of player.
it was a slight bobble, wasn't it? She charged it hard, a slight bobble, and then to compensate for that,
Gave it a bit more.
she tried to throw it a little bit too hard, and it just went like a rocket. High for a ball, well taken from Tonkin. I'd turn over the scorecard and I'd see she's hitless for the night. She's got a sacrifice bunt and a walk, so still contributing offensively, but she's been great behind the plate tonight, Sarah Tonkin.
Well, it's a good combination out there at the moment, isn't it? And Sturt are using that to their advantage. You know, every good pitcher teams up with a good catcher. Like, it goes without saying, really.
I really like how the Falcons have rotated their catching throughout the season as well. White and Tonkin have done all the work, with Neve Adams rotating between the shortstop third position, but she can also catch. But
It just gives them options, doesn't it?
absolutely.
You've pitched all over the world.
Yeah.
Catches, are they different from country to country? Like, you know, do they play the ball? You know, do they play a different style? Oh, there she gets a change up.
What a great pitch from Fidge, and she had a cheeky smile as well because Burr was handcuffed and she just poked it at the end to stay alive. Here's the leading team's replay, one she won't want to see back, and she was shocked as well. So a little bit disappointed herself there, Georgia Burr. That is strikeout number 9.
I think you'll find Millie's change-up can be so effective because she does such a great job of keeping her arm speed up, and she doesn't let her arm speed drop, and that sort of gives away to the hitter. She does a really good job of keeping that like speed of the ball ratio to the arm speed really high. I wasn't ignoring you, Mark.
No. There was a strikeout. So
Yeah.
I know my place here. Don't worry about that. What I was asking is because you look at the Japanese league, they play, they might do a lot more bunting and bits and pieces. So the American league slightly different again. So if you're pitching over there, are you pitching a lot more? Do you notice that catchers call more rise balls? Do they catch more drop balls, change ups? Is there or is it just you guys work that out before the game?
Well, I think it's a relationship that you have with the catcher, that the catcher calls the pitches that are going to bring the best out of you. So the catcher normally adapts to me as a pitcher in order to get the best out of me, rather than trying to make me play to a different style. That's just my personal experience.
Oh, it's good. Yeah, perfect. Great answer.
Full count or 2-2 count on Charlie Nash. Gets a little bit of this. It's great catch from Tonkin. She backs back to the backhand side for the third out. And short inning in the end for the Falcons. And after 4 innings, they're in command here, aren't they? 6-0 as we're at the 70-minute mark as well. So about 20 minutes left at this game. But we're also in the 5th as well. So if the Falcons can get up by 1, we're in run rule territory.
We've got Bell wide up to bat. Is that the way I read it? Yeah.
Yeah, and then Port Adelaide will get another hit, though, because this is the top.
Yep.
Round 9 of the Softball SA Premier League. It's Sturt Falcons versus Port Magpies. We don't have the great man Lee Hull to go around the diamonds for the umpires. It's Neville Lawrence behind the plate, Dave Borovnik at first, and Mike Bendel at third.
Wow, the hurricane has just arrived.
Bell White leading off the top of the 5th here.
He wants us to keep going, and you can hear all that rustling in the background. That's Lee Hull coming over to give us a bit of an indication. So sorry that it sounds like a thunderstorm, but that's just Lee.
So Bell's had a home run and a walk. So she'll be coming out. She's a very, very disciplined hitter, so she'll be coming out pretty disciplined. Obviously, she'll be trying to hit the ball, but she knows her job is just to get on base.
She started off the game amazingly with that home run.
She actually hit 2 home runs in that inning, Mark. One was foul, and sorry, in that at-bat. One was...
Do you count those things, Steph? Oh, then I've hit thousands in my life.
She hit 1 foul home run and 1 fair home run in one at-bat.
2 good swings, though, eh?
Yeah.
She's very disciplined. They had a very good... Charlotte and Bell had a good little competition last at bat, didn't they? They were sort of like doing it from. I think it went to a full count in the end there, and it was like it was close.
Yeah, Charlotte, as for someone who is so young, does a really, really good job of presenting herself on the mound and staying really composed. You know, a lot of other pitchers out there, regardless of their age, full counts with someone like Belinda, an Olympian, and loaded bases up to bat, it could go a lot of different ways.
Oh, that one stayed low and then just kicked a little bit as Chillingworth sort of got a glove to it.
Hard hit there by Bell to force that error on that really hard hit, and then aggressive running. You see she almost was ready to run to 2 to try and catch Magpies unaware.
Well, welcome, Lee. How are you going over at Diamond 2 there? You got the information on the game that just happened for us?
I have, thank you, Mark, and...
Great hit there by Maddie all the way into that left field corner. We'll see Bell come around to score. Maddie's going to try and push it. No, she's going to run back to 2. Awesome hit by Maddie to drive in that run. You could see she hit that ball so hard, just tailed and hit that corner of that left field fence.
So the game over there was rather interesting. It went full 7 innings, finished at 9:09, which is late. But Glenelg got off to a good start in the bottom of the 1st. They scored a run. And then Hills got 1 run in the 3rd, 1 in the 5th, and 2 in the 6th. And there was a total of 8 KCs in the game, which is a lot of people going down looking.
That's one of our pet hates, isn't it, Lee?
I think it is, apart from another 100 or so other things.
Oh, she's given that one a fair old ride, but Dolphin's out there and takes that comfortably. She is fielding very deep tonight, isn't she? And I think that's very smart by Port Adelaide to keep them back and come in and get them on the full, Lee. Well, we always say that, don't we? Sorry.
Yeah, well, there haven't been too many balls drop in. Most of the time, the outfield's been in a good position. There's been a couple shallow, but they've all done a really good job of coming in.
Another flat hit.
Maddie's going to turn 3 and push for home. stand up easily. So what a great hit there by Tash to drive in another run. And now Sturt are well and truly in run rule territory.
Yeah, Port Adelaide are in a little bit of trouble now. So, Lee, was it a great game to watch over there?
I thought it was very interesting. But as I said, the 8 KCs, 8 people going down looking in the game is a lot.
Oh, it's definitely not been the
But Georgia Hood came in, started 1 innings, and instead of passing her up, they let her hit a triple, hit the fence on the full, and she scored.
We were saying we were getting the updates from you early on, and it seemed to be a bit of a pitcher's duel at the start there.
Yes.
With the veteran Jade Peterson out there throwing okay. How many Ks did she get in the end? Do you know?
I certainly do know. We have 5 for her, and 4 KCs, and Georgia Hood 3 Ks and 4 KCs.
Yeah, right.
So pinch hitter here for Sturt. We see Lauren Drury coming in to hit for Indigo Beck de Silva. Lauren Drury has been a really nifty hitter for Sturt. Definitely can get the job done and get some hits in real key critical moments.
Best of the batters over there was Sasha Penglaze. Batted 4 times for 3 safe hits.
So who was your player of the match over there, Lee? Who was your pick of the game?
I thought Sasha was as good as anybody as far as the hitting went, and the pitchers nullified himself. Georgia went 3-4 times at had 4 innings where she went 3 up, 3 down, George, and Megan Williams also went for 3, including the triple.
Great piece of the ball here by Lauren Drury. Taylor Oates did a great job to get to it. Amelia Dolphin came just behind her, picking her up.
I was just about to say, as we were talking there, just letting Lee finish, Lauren Drury was swinging that bat very, very flat and strong. And you just said she is a good batter and has come in to get some. And that was a cracking hit. That was flat. It wasn't high. She chased the right pitch.
Yeah, Lauren Drury had a phenomenal season last year at Sturt, her first season at Sturt, and broke through a really strong and a really great offensive and defensive lineup for Sturt, and has really showed her place, and obviously been given plenty of opportunities this year as well. So awesome for her to come in for a pinch hit with that double.
Looked confident in the box, just choked up a little bit on the handle, so just gave it a little bit so she can time it a bit more. And yeah, that was a great hit. We've got another change, have we?
Maybe an injury?
You notice since the wind dropped, it's become a very still game here, and it did over there. And you can hit the ball and they stay hit in these conditions.
Well, Belle White hit 2 at her first at bat. One foul ball that went really long and foul, and then another one, you wouldn't believe it, it stayed hit.
I do believe it because you just told me.
Yep, and I wouldn't lie to you, Lee.
Hit
Other
the pole,
people I
didn't
would.
it?
Yeah, I hit the light box. Yeah, the fuse box on the side of the light pole there.
So it looks like we have a little bit of a timeout, potentially a blood nose to Jess Maslin.
Oh, you're all over it.
A blood rule to Jess Maslin, the catcher. So a timeout, blood rule, we will get that one sorted.
Oh, well, that's no good. I hope she's okay. Did she cop? She didn't cop anything then we didn't see, or is it just the heat maybe? Or
yeah.
Lindy Radigan's suggesting she may have got clipped on the nose by the helmet as she took it off.
So this could be a good opportunity for Port to take a breath, think about the situation and just do their job to get another couple outs here. And as we talked about previously, limit the runs. We can see another pinch hitter coming into bat here, Poppy Carmen, making an appearance with the bat. Poppy Carmen, we've said, has done a phenomenal job as a pitcher. So I'm excited to see what she can do with the bat here. Good to see Sturt giving some of their young kids a bit of a run around. Great swing by Poppy, just swung a little bit over the top of that, maybe mistimed it a little bit. Charlotte can mix speeds, which can definitely put the hitters off.
Oh, as Poppy Carmen goes after that one, which is pushed out to Thompson and fires across.
Great job by Zoe to field that ball. Take a peek at the runner, but make sure of the out at first base as well. So now we can see Port Adelaide have 2 down, and they'll be looking to tie up their 9-hitter here and to limit the damage and not roll back over to the leadoff hitter. which Rachel Tonkin's done a good job in that 9-hole for them tonight.
Well, she has, hasn't she? I think she's been on base, 4-3, base on balls, 4-3, and then...
She started that inning that scored multiple runs for them.
Yeah. And she's very composed in the box. Like you said, she's very selective, isn't she? She fires that one out to Thompson as it kicks up a little bit. And that crosses straps over for another run. And we have a...
Good hard shot by Rachel. Just sort of went under the glove of Zoe at second base. She got her feet there in time, but maybe just took her head off the ball at the last second. Maybe
looking for that play at home or that runner coming home and just took her eyes off at the last minute, maybe. As Sarah Tonkin this time up to bat. Who James was saying before has been a little bit quiet, has made contact, but hasn't really had a safe one tonight. So I'd be expecting with her batting average and her experience to be going after this one. And
1-3 split here in this scenario. We did see Port run a 1-3 split earlier in the game. They threw the ball directly to third base and didn't even peek at that runner. With 2 out and they're trailing a few runs, Mark, what would you be looking in this situation?
Well, I always look long ball, Steph, and I know it's the wrong situation, but if she was to go, I'd have a crack, right? Because
they need to get an out.
You're right. You just need to get the bat in your hand and have a go. So if she does go, she probably wouldn't go 100% because she'd be expecting you to throw it maybe or be looking. So I'd have a crack. 9-0. If it makes it 10-0, it just makes it that little bit harder. But Lee, did I get it right? Would you have a go?
Sounds pretty impressive.
If it was a 1-3 split and she went, would you go?
Yeah.
I'd have a go.
What do you got to lose?
Jess,
Nothing.
100%.
Jess did a good job then of blocking the ball, saving a runner at third base.
Yeah, 100%. And this is all very good learning for Poppy and Lauren and the other younger ones that are out there. This is a very good game technically and to also learn. Don't let the game get away on you 9-0 now. They're all learning. They're all firing it out there. As that one's pushed out to Nash, and Nash takes that and fires it straight in, but didn't need to.
She was just practicing her throw.
Yeah, it was a good throw too.
It was a good throw.
Give her credit. That was a decent throw.
Great take by Charlie out there to finish the inning. So Port have some work to do in run rule territory, but we'll be getting close on time as well. So they'll be needing to pop a few runs on the board to keep the game rolling.
Well, you think they'd want to get 1 or 2 or 3 runs out there, just to sort of because we know that they can do it, and this is where they need to come out and be aggressive. I'm assuming that Fidge is still throwing. She's one of the last to go. She's getting the game ball, so she'll be back out there. So if she's doing her job, she'll shut them down. Lee, she's been pitching amazingly. Steph's got the stats there, I think. Steph, you finished yours because once we start talking, I don't fill mine in anymore. But she's got a few Ks. 9
strikeouts on the evening. Only given up 1 hit.
Yeah, not a bad day at the office.
Yep.
And she's had a double herself, a couple of good cracks at the bat.
She's a strong hitter of the ball, isn't she?
And you wouldn't believe it, Lee.
Yep.
Steph, it's Steph's pick for player of the night. Another pitcher. You wouldn't read about it, would you?
Well, we haven't heard the result yet, so but I'm
still time.
I get your message loud and clear, mate.
Well, I don't think she could do too much more wrong, Millie. She's had a great night tonight, and I just think the Magpies need to come out now and swing the bat.
Maddie Cameron's also had 2 hits. Belle White had a home run. So there's been lots of other contributors. It's been a good team game for Sturt. There's been hits right up and down the full
And that's
lineup.
what I was saying to you before, wasn't I, Steph? I was saying that for me, the pitcher always does a fantastic job. And if a great pitcher like Millie and yourself and that, they always pick up votes because you work hard and you do such a good job. But collectively tonight, these guys have actually fielded well, batted well, ran the bases, backed each other up.
So Taylor Oates will be looking to start off this bottom of the 5th inning to get a runner on base and try and tack on a few runs.
Oates, K2, her first at bat, looking to make amends.
Swing and a miss there by Taylor, but good pitch to swing at. Would have been that strike. Just under it, and that's a testament to that rise ball that is breaking that Millie likes to throw. Coupled with that off speed down and away.
Is it a breaking drop ball and a kicking rise ball? Or do you call them a breaking?
I think it's much of a muchness, isn't it? Tomato, tomato. It's the same thing.
He's just trying to test you out.
Oh, great
There's
pitch.
that rise ball.
That was a good pitch.
That was a great pitch by Millie, going from that down and away drop ball, change up, back to back with that up and in pitch, up and out. Zoe Thompson had a walk her first at bat, so she'll be looking again to give Port Adelaide something to work with.
Well, I think this was their best opportunity when she came on. When she got base on balls, they had a runner on, got it around to third, and then Amelia Dolphin hit that double out to centre field. So that sort of kicked a little bit of momentum going for them. Oh, did you have... Oh.
Zoe got walked, and then Amelia hit and then they had the little kerfuffle at third base. Great pitch there by Millie. Oh, that was a nice pitcher's pitch, as I like to call them.
Yeah.
As a hitter, you probably don't want to be swinging that, but that is a nice pitcher's pitch.
I would have got rung up on that one, for sure. Thompson just needs to be patient here. She had very good eyes on that previous pitch, which we all thought was pretty close to the zone, and then went after that one.
It's almost like she's gone from that off-speed drop straight to a rise ball, back to an off-speed.
There's been a couple of really nice change-ups here tonight, Lee. You'd be very happy with those.
I would be.
Zoe trying to stay alive here. 1 ball, 2 strike count.
Oh, good pitch. That had some pace on it as Thompson goes down swinging. And I think that there's another 2 K2s there. That makes 10 for the night. As Fitch fires that rise in there. Inside, but Dolphin says, no, not this time. I'm going to sit on him. She just needs to be patient, get it out in front, Lee, and go up with it. She lays off that one. Very disciplined batting. Fidge 1 out away from finishing the game for Sturt. She'll be looking to take on Dolphin here. As she does, as Dolphin fires that one out. And that may drop in as it does, and 1 bounce out to Indigo back to Silver.
Great hit by Amelia. Very similar to that first hit that she had, that double that carried a little bit more, but she did a really good job of just punching that ball into play, not trying to do too much with it, but going right side, going opposite field with it.
Yeah, so just sort of pushed it out there, didn't she? And Chillingworth, 2 K2s for the night, so she'll be looking to make amends here for her team. Just put it out behind the runner.
That was great leadership there by Amelia. Still only really young in the competition, but her first at-bat, you saw she struck out on a few rise balls, but managed to make some adjustments and really be a leader for her team when they need it.
She's having a great season too, isn't she? She's made the highlights reel a couple of weeks in a row. She's doing some very good plays, and she conducts herself very well. So it's a good little system they got going out there at Port Adelaide at the moment, with Chillingworth taking that one foul. A 1-on-1. Oh, there it is. One of your favourites, Lee, the change-up?
One of my favourites. Depends who's batting, of course.
The old knee buckler.
Yeah, all these different situations. Can't it just be a good... And that looks like it's the ball game for the Sturt Falcons as they look to run away 9-0 victors over Port Adelaide on the top of the table clash. And how did you see that, Steph?
That was a great take by Neve there. Really good battle by Millie to really attack Taylor and get that out. Taylor also a really strong hitter in the competition right now.
Well, that will see the Falcons take top of the table. As Mark suggested, a top of the table clash, they'll move to 18 points, tied with Port Adelaide, but the tiebreaker in that situation is runs against, and they blanked the Magpies tonight 9-0, so their runs against will remain at 32. Port Adelaide's climbs to 53, so they are clear on top of the table as the two teams will shake hands. And Lee, thanks for bringing us the updates from Diamond 2 tonight. Just another score check thanks to MK Services SA.
4-1 in favour of Hills.
And the two teams will shake hands now. Steph, we'll let you pick the player of the game tonight, MC Sportswear player of the game, and tell us why.
I mean, look, there are a lot of really great contenders from Port Adelaide as well. Amelia Dolphin had a really great game with a couple hits. Maddie Cameron had 2 doubles, few RBIs to her name. Belle White had a home run, but you can't go past Millie Fidge pitching a shutout. She had 11 strikeouts. She herself had a double and an RBI, only gave up 2 hits. So we'll cross over to Millie when we're ready, Dave.
There's our man Dave on screen right now.
Hello guys, how are you? Sorry, I was doing my Okay, Millie, 11 strikeouts. Sorry, just back to commentary.
We will come back to David in just 1 second. Just a technical difficulty. He has got Millie Fidge with us. Let's go over to David. Right now, he has our player of the game, Millie Fidge. Take 2.
Taking 2. Millie Fidge, 11 strikeouts, 2 hits. Was it 2 hits? Just 1 hit. Great game. How are you feeling out there?
Definitely a lot better than the last few weeks. I've got my rhythm back. Lost it for a minute, but I'm hoping back for the rest of the season.
No, it's now that change-up was coming in pretty deadly today. Is that something you've been working on?
Yeah, me and Sarah have been working a bit together at training, so yeah, it's working for me, so I'm going to keep using it hopefully.
Now, I think there's a lot of fans of the change-up in the commentary booth, so they'll be happy with that. Now, we asked you this the last time we talked to you, but this is a bit of a change for you, for the season, where you will be pitching the entire games. A little bit further along, you were feeling pretty good with it before. Now, is it like, do you just feel at home pitching the full game?
Well, I lost it for a little bit, but then I took my time to actually get back into the rhythm of it. So, as seen tonight, I was a bit more comfortable out there. So I think I'm getting the hang of it a bit better now.
Nice. We're looking forward to seeing some more great games.
Thank you.
Well, there she is, our player of the game, Millie Fidge. 11 strikeouts tonight. She's got that strikeout count up to around 80 now, Steph. So one of the league leaders in strikeouts. ERA was 1.7 coming into tonight. So another 0, a shutout on the board for Millie Fidge. So she is really setting herself up for a big season, isn't she?
Yeah, Millie is an absolute athlete, and just as she said there, she's only going to keep getting better as she finds a bit more of a rhythm. It can be tricky to switch to pitching full games, but she's obviously taken that in her stride and doing a really good job.
And Lee, for the short part of the game that you were with us, how did you see it? Was it all Sturt for you in the back?
There'll be a lot of hard hitting like Sturt's capable of doing, James, and no surprise, is it really?
Well, there you have it. There's the scoreline on screen. 9 runs to 0 in favour of the Sturt Falcons. And thanks very much to Lee for picking up Diamond 2 tonight. Thanks to Mark and to you, Steph. Absolutely sensational. Good luck to you. You'll be playing on TV this Saturday. We're going to bring you the inaugural mental health round. So stay with us. On Saturday, we'll have a doubleheader as well. So a big day of live softball action this Saturday. But tonight, it was all the Falcons, 9 runs to 0. Good night.